This video is about our garden and I took it on June 15th, 2021. I'm starting in front of the house and this little gnome is looking at everybody who's looking closer. And as you can see, everything is grown over. A lot of plants have been growing very high this year. And please follow me through the garden. I don't know the English names of all the plants, but I guess that really doesn't matter. So we continue the way down into the garden. And the first plant you can see is the giant rhubarb blossom, which came up in May, and it just took 2 to 3 weeks to grow to this size, and it's really amazing. This is a fruit tree. I don't know what the fruit is in English. And that's our garden pump. It goes to a cistern holding 6 cubic meters. And this beauty here has grown very much the last couple of years and is just starting to blossom very nicely. That's a view to the middle terrace where we are sitting when it's very hot like today. And on the first terrace here there is a rose which is not smelling at all, but it looks quite beautiful. And there is one bench. We have another bench next to the larger pond, which you'll see later on. And here a view to another, it's called a farmer's rose, which is also smelling very nicely. Now we continue, and at the house there are various plants growing, and this is my favorite rose. There is no blossom yet. That'll come in, let's say, 2 weeks, but it smells awfully good. This is a petal flower, and it has got lots of bulbs, and also that'll start blossoming in a couple weeks, I guess. And a view into our garage, you can see large motorcycles. And next to the wall, which is leading to our neighbor, we have also a lot of roses and other plants as well, like this clematis, which is where the bench is next to the pond. It's very nice to sit here and have a look on the pond. There's a fountain in the middle, which unfortunately I had not switched on. And Buddha is watching us and trying to teach us something. I don't know what, but it's calming at least. The tree at the pond, it's called a catalpa, and in, let's say, end of June it'll start blossoming. It'll be very nice, and it will have white blossoms all over. Now we are continuing going down on the middle level, and yeah, there we have this little bridge over the path. Again, some roses and you can see a nice view to the farmland. These are some lilies. Again, they will blossom later on. Some hazelnut, corkscrew hazelnut, and lots of plants. This is an apple tree. The apples are yet still very small. It's a Cox orange, and we can harvest them in September. Tastes very nicely. Again, we have some garden chairs for sitting here when it's very hot. There's a nice little breeze going through the tree, and it's cooling down. So even though it's if it's 30 degrees and above, you can stand it outside. Now here you can see the cherries, not ripe yet, but the birds have already started picking on them. There's the second smaller pond, and the owl is watching that no birds of prey are going and catch the fish inside. Now we go to the lower level. The fence you can see we put up last year because we had some deer coming into the garden, and they were nibbling on everything green coming out, especially on the raspberries. And since then we most of the time can keep them out of the garden, although sometimes they manage to get inside, and one time we had to catch them and guide them outside. And last year and also this year I cleared the garden. It doesn't belong to our ground, but I cleared it anyway because there was a lot of weed, and I cleared it away and planted some things which were left over from our garden. This is now the raspberry area, and they have just started to grow, and I think this year again we'll get a lot of them. They taste very nice, especially when you're just walking by and nibble on a few of them. That's our compost area. Pierre takes care of it, and a plant area with some strawberries and different kinds of salads and onions and you name it, some cucumbers as well, radishes. And that's a view to our neighbor's garden, and also a lot of cherries coming down to this area, so you can easily pick them. Now let's go up again. Lars is also using this path here to get out with a motorcycle towards the street. And the big machine he has, that's already the limit. Otherwise, he wouldn't get past the rose bow. And on the terrace, there are two tomato plants. And if they grow as well as they have started, we'll get a lot of tomatoes this year. And again, lots of flowers. This one, for instance, is smelling awfully good. And here you can see a weather station, 20 minutes to 11 in the morning and already 25 degrees. That's our catalpa again, and the nice view from the terrace. We enjoy very much sitting here and just having a view. Only some tractors and low traffic. In the morning there's some shade in this area, so we can sit there and enjoy a morning coffee. This morning we had been running in the forest and had a coffee here, and